that the plant typically gets infected, it goes down to the roots,
Yes.
stays there for a little while, and then it kind of proliferates throughout the rest of the plant. So is the idea being that like you're trying to catch those tips before the viroid has had a chance to get there, and then you're kind of constantly
it actually moves
outrun
up and down. So even if it's in those limbs, some of it moves down. The down tends to go down and stay down. It could, of course, carry back up because the xylem, which will go back up to the limbs, is especially active during. It's active early on for water and nutrient salts. So of course it's the primary carrier for those. In flowering, especially in cannabis, it gets interesting because we have a new shunt, and that is that stored sugar, the wood and carbohydrates we're talking about in the roots and stems, begins to mobilize again. So it'll take complex carbohydrates and turn it into simple sugars again and start sending those up the xylem, which is when we suspect that the viroid is going to be carried up as well. Because sugar is relatively large organisms. It's obviously metabolically driven. And we suspect that viroid is involved somewhere in gumming up the metabolic process. But it's, first of all, we're doing it in veg when those things would not be moving anyway. Number two is just that all that growth is coming from the tip. It's like trying to chase a rocket if you were in its burn stream. It's going to be hard. What was that very tip growth yesterday is now centimeters or inches higher tomorrow. That's incredible. And considering we're talking about things that are just shared passively, cell to cell, and when you get up into growth that high, and in those brand new vascular tissues, is they are often missed, is how it goes. And this is where the testing comes in.
Yeah.
Because I've done this for a while, and we were sending in testing from tips, and we were getting so much more negative material. And what's funny is you guys, as a testing agency, were saying, oh, well, you should either mix all of those samples together, or let's go for these other high concentrated tissues, which is great, again, for identifying the presence of the viroid in the garden. I would almost go ahead and say it's there. And if it wasn't viroid, it's something else. But let's if we start doing it off of tips, there is the greater likelihood that, given the plant, assuming the plant had viroid in it at all, that we're using material that's so new and has grown so vigorously that it is viroid free. And if we take that cutting with clean tools, now the part about this I hadn't mentioned is that to take that top off, your hands have been cleaned in bleach water, your tools have been cleaned in bleach water. I actually have a vinyl apron with bleachy sponges in it and 3 sets of tools and gloves so that I can do that. And of course, from talking to Zamir, he said, yes, viroid can live in bleach as well, but not well and not for a long time. So it's the best we have.
Right.
Is to use that. We're not going to ask for trouble. We're going to do our best to eliminate it. But that will be cleaning the plant, cleaning the tools, and then taking another cutting.